Good rising, brethren. This is Big Judah coming to you guys from California. Before I begin, give all praise to the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. I pray the Most High blesses this lesson this evening, gives us more knowledge and understanding of the events of the past, in order to understand events that are currently happening on the earth, so we get a much better understanding of the things that are soon to come on the earth. Brethren, we had a major event last night with the eclipse, and we understand with these events, the Most High is releasing energy into the earth. The enemy knows this, and he tries to get his energies off of our reactions, off of our feelings. See, do you think it was a coincidence that today they announced the verdict and that Rittenhouse court case, and that it was not guilty? And you have all these people making these videos. See, many Gentiles all happy, and that justice was served, and and all these certain things, and just to get people upset. Saw many Gentiles just talking about how, oh, there's a God, oh, this is great, and this is that. They do those things. These demons get into these people. They do that to get our people upset, so they can feed off of that low vibrational energy, get us all upset and frustrated, which puts us at a low vibration, and then they feed off of that energy. Not here, brethren. Not at all over here. You're not gonna get us, all upset and whatever else about a system that has been set up to fail us. This is nothing new. This is par for the course. This is what you do. This is what you were made for. Just because you say you're all about fairness and and justice for all, equal opportunity, we know that that's not true. But see, over here, we're going to continue to take our vibrations to a higher level. We're going to continue to concentrate on our power, because we understand that you're trying to bring us back down to that base level, and just to be about being upset and angry and hateful. That's what you guys have done this entire time. You're trying to feed off of this energy that the Most High has been releasing into the earth, and you're trying to manipulate it and manipulate that we react in order for you to be able to keep our vibrations low, in order for it to feed into the things that you want, feed into your agenda. Hey, he got off. He better enjoy it. Because just because this system allows these people to get away with rape, robbery, and murder, the Most High will not. See, the people that you wrong, the people that you kill, you're going to face them again when you die. They're waiting for you. They're waiting to watch that judgment that the Most High is going to pass on you, as talked about in the Apocalypse of Paul. See, when we pass away, the good angels come to greet us and to take us to the Father, in order for our Father to say, this person here is, has done the will of the Father. Now, I don't even want to think. It talks about the horrible things that await the ones that have been, going against the Most High, and the things that await them when they die. These terrible spirits come for your soul. And that's just the beginning of your torment. I made a video a few years ago about what happens when you die. Look it up. I go into that whole thing with the Apocalypse of Paul. But we're not going to get into that, because, hey, You better enjoy your heaven right now. This was made for you to be able to get away with the things that you do. This is your blessing. So enjoy it. But as you can see, the Father is quickly turning the screws over. The things that you used to be able to do, you can't enjoy anymore. The blessings that you had free reign to be able to enjoy and pass down to your children and just live blissfully, those days are over. The ease that you guys were able to hide facts and hide information, that's being turned upside down as well. So continue, family, to go up, pray up, move upwards, take that vibrational, energy up to the Father. Do not look back, do not look down, do not waste your time on bringing your energies low, because it's not going to achieve anything. As you can see, these people do not change. They're not capable of changing. It is not in their spirit. We're going to get into something new. We're going to get into quite a few different books, and we're going to get into some older books. I mean, we got so much information that the Father has given us, that the Father has made available to us once again, that we have no other choice but to continue to vibe up, move up, get this knowledge, understanding. The Father is preparing us for greatness. The Father is preparing us to be the people that He intended us to be in the first place. The Father is preparing us for a sea change in this world. He's preparing us to be the light of the world, to be the light in a world of darkness. See, He's given us this knowledge and understanding because people are going to eventually, they're going to come to us and they're going to want the truth. And we need to be able to have the proof, have the receipts to show, that what we say is true. It's one thing to say that, yeah, the Catholic Church has lied. Yes, the Catholic Church and the Christian Church are one and the same. It's one thing for us to be able to say that. It goes to another level when you're able to prove it. See, the other side, they don't prove anything. All they do is give lip service. All they do is say, we don't agree with that. We don't approve that. That's not part of our canon. That's not part of our doctrine. You can't read that. We have not approved, those books for you to read. And as long as you give them that power, you give them that power, and then you don't read and you don't research and you don't follow the Father wherever He takes you. They do that to keep you at a low vibrational level. They do that to keep you from reaching the Father and vibing up and moving up. So the Most High is releasing all this energy into the earth. What are you going to do with that energy? Are you going to use it to continue to chase after the Father? Or are you going to become stagnant and follow the ways of the adversary? Follow the ways of the spirits that have been put over the Gentiles to lead them astray? The choice is yours. We're going to take a look here at Isis Unveiled, a Master Key, Mysteries of Ancient and Modern Science and Theology by H.P. Blavatsky. We're in volume 2 of the theology one, okay? And this book has about, I don't know, close to 700 pages in it. I know that some of the later volumes have less pages and things like that. So, they revise it and take information out and things like that. But that's what they do. That's why the Most High is making it so we get this information and see His people are given the spirits to discern the truth and get this information and choose what, makes sense and how does this fit and how does this fit the characteristics of these demons that have been running this world. Now, when I was looking at this book, these books right here, this was the description. This is an item description from the seller. Most were destroyed by the Catholic and other Christian churches. Okay. The set is in good condition for the age. Okay. Isis Unveiled was published on September 29th, 1877. The second edition is more rare than the first edition. Main point. Most were destroyed by the Catholic and other Christian churches. This is just proving that the Catholics and the Christians are birds of a feather that flock together. They are the same. They do not want information out. They want the people to stay ignorant. So since now, they can't just, tell everybody, hey, and now just don't read it. Don't read these books. Don't read these books. They just burned them and got rid of them. Because they can't prove the information wrong. And they don't want you to get the full perspective in order to make your own decisions. Like a video I did talking about the apocalypse of Elijah, when the rest of the people realized that the devil can't even save himself, that he has no power, and that this entity, this spirit, has made them enemies of the Most High because they refuse to think for themselves. They refuse to follow the true people of the Most High. They refuse to acknowledge this information. See, if you're part of an organization that has just, raped, robbed, and murdered, and burned information and hidden information, taken it for themselves, hid it in their vaults so that they can read the information, but you can't, and you just turn a blind eye to all that, then, pretty much you get what you get. For a very long time, this information has been hidden. It has not been brought out because it was their time for their blessing. Now the Father has seen fit to restore this information that they have been hiding. So again, most were destroyed by the Catholic and Christian churches. So we're going to get a glimpse as to the kind of books that they have they burned and destroyed, just like when they came over here to the Americas. At first, it's one thing that's, the natives don't write anything. They didn't write anything. Next thing is they're confiscating books and information and burning everything. So it's like, which one is it? And why are they burning it? What's in these books that they, were so hell bent on hiding? We're gonna get a little taste of this right now. Let's start here in the paragraph where it says, "We must once more return to that greatest of all the patristic of frauds, the one which has undeniably helped the Roman Catholic Church to its unmerited supremacy. The barefaced assertion in the teeth of historical evidence that Peter suffered martyrdom at Rome." And that's what they always say, Peter was the first pope, and this is that. No proof. They just make these these claims, and no one says anything. No one says, hey, can you prove that? Yeah, because that's a huge basis for your whole church. That Peter came here and said he was the first pope and set up your church. That's a huge claim with no proof. But that's what they've been able to do. Make claims and never prove anything, and no one questioned them. That's all part of that Psalms 83 confederacy. So again, the barefaced assertion in the teeth of historical evidence that Peter suffered martyrdom at Rome. It is but too natural that the Latin clergy should cling to it, for with the exposure of the fraudulent nature of this pretext, the dogma of apostolic succession must fall to the ground. So if your whole foundation is based on a lie, everything you say afterwards, just falls apart. And that's what they're going to show right here. There have been many able works of late, in refutation of this preposterous claim. Among others, we note Mr. G. Reber's The Christ of Paul, which overthrows it quite ingeniously. The author proves, that there was no church established at Rome until the reign of Antonius Pius. That as Eusebius and Irenaeus both agree that Linus was the second bishop of Rome, and to whose hands the blessed apostles Peter and Paul committed the church after building it. It could have not been at any other time than between AD 64 and 68. That this interval of years happens during the reign of Nero For Eusebius states that Linus held this office 12 years, ecclesiastical history, okay? And it says, entering upon it AD 69, 1 year after the death of Nero, and dying himself in 81. After that, the author maintains on very solid grounds that Peter could not be in Rome AD 64, for he was then in Babylon, wherefrom he wrote his first epistle, the date of which is fixed by Dr. Lardner and other critics at precisely this year. But we believe that his best argument is in proving that it was not in the character of the cowardly Peter to risk himself in such close neighborhood with Nero, who was feeding the wild beasts of the amphitheater with the flesh and bones of Christians at that time. So right there, they're just showing you that the time doesn't match up. The years don't match up. So if you're already from jump lying about these years and him being where he was at and establishing a church and then letting the Roman Catholic Church act as if they've been here forever and that they took direct power from these apostles, that was this authority was given to them. And see, most people just they'll say it, and most parishioners will just believe whatever it is that they say and never question it. This shows you why the parishioners are never allowed to question anything. This shows you why they're never allowed to read anything, because their assertions do not stand up to scrutiny. Their assertions do not stand up to scrutiny. That's why they need to keep everything in a low vibration. That's why they need to keep you upset and angry all the time. Because then you take your energy elsewhere and not following the Most High and searching out the truth. It's time to make sure that we are continuously following the Father, praying for each other, supporting one another. These are the times. This is nation building, the building back of our nation. The Father is working to restore our people. He's restoring our minds and spirits right now. And this is happening, under pretty much the nose of the rest of the world. The higher ups know exactly what's happening. They have the hidden books. They know of the restoration of the Most High's chosen people. They know how the Spirit works with us. It's the vast majority of the world who has no idea what's going on. See, the rest of the world has been given exoteric instruction. And under exoteric instruction, those are the kinds of things that they give to the masses. That's the information they give to everyone. They give you that left behind doctrine. They give you that white Jesus doctrine. They give you that those kinds of things that just keep you, happy and going along in society, but never really knowing anything. That's the whole exoteric instruction. They're dealing with the esoteric information. That esoteric information is the information for the select few. And they've gone out of their way to make the esoteric information seem to be evil. And we'll get into that shortly as well. Like, those things are forbidden and you should not look at those. But that is more so aimed not at the masses, because they wouldn't understand it anyways. That's aimed at the Most High's chosen people, because that information is ours in the first place. And they've taken the books and they've hidden them in the Vatican archives and different places. They read the information, but they don't allow you to see it. Hence why they've been going worldwide. When they first got, reign over everything, going worldwide to destroy libraries and books and everything and all in history, so they can come up with their own. That's why we've been given his story, his story. Something Brother Kudomeo said, I listened to one of his videos. It was like, mystery, my story. Mystery is my story. Our history has been hidden. That's why it's a mystery. But it's a mystery now that the Father is now giving us back. giving us that information, understanding back. Miss story, my story is coming back to us through the Spirit. She's given us this information back. She's been given the power to give us this information back. She's been released to give us this information back. The angels are here, giving us this information, working behind the scenes to get us the information that we need. The angels work, and each and every one of us to have us do our part in this awakening. That's why you'll get told a little something about do this, do that, support these brothers, talk to this person, don't talk to that person, read this. This part is good. This part is not good. The Spirit is working with us right now. And so we all need to be praying and thanking the Most High, thanking the Father, thanking the Mother, thanking the angels. See, that's how they got the world to act like we were praying to all these different gods all the time by showing, saying appreciation to the different beings that have been sent to help us. That's not worshiping. Just called like admiration, just saying thank you, appreciation. Let's continue. Perhaps the Church of Rome was but consistent in choosing as her titular founder the apostle who thrice denied his master at the moment of danger. And that's one thing we got to look at. The scriptures have, again, an exoteric understanding and an esoteric understanding. They have an understanding that's given to the masses, but there's things hidden for the esoteric or for the chosen few. And that goes in the scriptures, that goes in things that are going to be hidden, that goes in things that are in the television. That's why I said, like, when you're watching movies, a lot of the exoteric understanding is going to be like, oh, yeah, we're Israel. We're Israel. Okay, yeah, we all know that we're Israel. But the esoteric information is going to be the deeper things, the spiritual things. And that's what we're moving to. And this is talking about Peter. Like, this is like a little bit deeper understanding. It's like, yeah, it's kind of, I said it's kind of fitting that they would choose Peter to be the one that they would, use to establish their church, because look at the things that Peter did. And check this part out right here. Again, perhaps the Church of Rome was but consistent in choosing as her titular founder the apostle who thrice denied his master at the moment of danger. And the only one, moreover, except Judas, who provoked Christ in such a way as to be addressed as the enemy. Get thee behind me, Satan, exclaims Jesus, rebuking the taunting apostle. You see that right there? So it's like, he's like, in this, right? He's like, hey, maybe it was fitting that they picked Peter for this. That the Most High referred to him as an enemy, as Satan. It says there is a tradition in the Greek church which has never found favor at the Vatican. The former traces its origin to one of the Gnostic leaders, Basilides, perhaps, who lived under Trajan and Adrian at the end of the first and the beginning of the second century. With regard to this particular tradition, if the Gnostic is Basilides, then he must be accepted as a sufficient authority, having claimed to have been a disciple of the Apostle Matthew, and to have had for master Glaucius a disciple of St. Peter himself. Were the narrative attributed to him authenticated, the London Committee for the Revision of the Bible would have to add a new verse to Matthew, Mark, and John, who tell the story of Peter's denial of Christ. Now, see, this is a little bit more information now, and that's the thing. When you think that the Bible has everything, these guys have been the ones that have been like, oh, nope, that's not good. Nope, we don't agree with that. Nope, we don't agree with that. Because they're like, we need information, we need things in the Bible that pretty much substantiates our place as the church. The Bible has been constructed to give this church, the abominable church, power, and to give them status, and to give them a firm foundation. But the firm foundation is not so firm. It's based off of sand. That as soon as you start to just, dig a little bit, the whole foundation collapses. Let's continue right here. This tradition, then, of which we have been speaking, affirms that when frightened at the accusation of the servant of the high priest, the apostle had thrice denied his master, and the cock had crowed. Jesus, who was then passing through the hall in custody of the soldiers, turned and looking at Peter said, Verily I say unto thee, Peter, thou shalt deny me throughout the coming ages, and never stop until thou shalt be old, and shalt stretch forth thy hands, and another shall gird thee, and carry thee whither thou wouldest not. The latter part of this sentence, say the Greeks, relates to the Church of Rome, and prophesies her constant apostasy from Christ under the mask of false religion. Later, it was inserted in the 21st chapter of John, but the whole of this chapter had been pronounced a forgery even before it was found that this chapter had been it was found that this gospel was never written by John the apostle at all. Who was the one saying things were a forgery? Who's the one saying that we don't accept these things? The abominable church, the priests of Mahan. As you can see, this is a little bit of information, a little bit of digging just blows the whole Peter establishing the church in Rome, being the first pope, out of the water. And instead of trying to prove all this stuff wrong, they just burn the books and hide the information. So like I said, we're just getting started. The Father has given us so much information. He's proving so many things. And he's raising us up to be the light of the world here at the end. So don't allow these attempts to bring your vibration and bring your spirit down to their level. Don't allow them to be successful doing that. We will continue to vibe up, move up, get closer to the Father. Because that's the time that we are in right now. The time of them being able to just get us all upset and angry and worried and fearful. So those times are over with. It's time now to praise the Most High, thank the Most High, and show our appreciation for him waking us up and bringing us out from the depths of the doldrums that the other nations have put us in. All praise is to the Most High, Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledge Yahweh Shai. Shalom, family.